can't get to the phone right now. Please leave a message. Hello, we can't get to the phone right now. Please leave a message.
The voicemail you just heard playing probably has no meaning to you at all. It really doesn't unless you know the man who is talking in it. That's the voice of Charles Sardi, my grandfather, or Papa as we like to call him. Papa might be the most impressive person I've ever known and probably will ever know. He received degrees in business from the University of Notre Dame, George Washington University, and Harvard University. In business, he flew up the ranks at Westinghouse Electric Corporation, which is a multi-billion-dollar organization, and became vice president. Later in his career, he became chairman and CEO of the Knoll Furniture Group, a $500 million company. It's really cool to look back and see all the amazing things my grandfather accomplished, but that's not what I know him for or why I love him. I see Papa as a short, plump Italian man with glasses and white hair. A man with infinite wisdom who never said a harsh word and loved his family more than himself. I've spoken about him a little bit in the present tense as if he's still here, but in reality, he's been gone for years now, and this past month he passed away from dementia, which is a disease that essentially gradually shuts down the human mind. After undergoing heart surgery about 6 or 7 years ago, he began to fade with dementia. It started with memory issues and small moments of confusion. With every passing day, it felt like we lost him a little more, and there was nothing we could do to stop it. What was once the most brilliant man I'd ever known was now a shell of himself. For his last couple of years, he lost his ability to speak and have conversations. In that voicemail, it's like that man I never truly got the chance to say goodbye to is back again for a couple seconds.
Hello, we can't get to the phone right now.
It's easy to think back on a lost loved one and be sad, but there's a lot of good and happiness that can come from it as well. Before his funeral, our entire family, including all 10 of his grandchildren, gathered together in South Bend, Indiana to remember him. The night before the funeral, during a meal at an Italian restaurant, we recalled some of our favorite memories with him.
But the thing I remember the most is sort of the way Papa, made me feel it. He always had a way to make me smile and just brought joy, either, a witty, funny little one-liner, he'd always shoot that wink at you. I was just very infectious like that.
I mean, he was just always so calm and great with us. And I never swore, never did anything. Well, one time we were on the golf course together. And he shanked like a hard shot. And he just goes, God bless America!
I don't have a specific story about my grandfather, but I do have a ton of little memories I gathered over the years. Some of my favorite memories with him were the annual puzzles we would do at the Outer Banks for my family summer trip, cooking homemade sausage during the holidays, and getting my first bike on Christmas Eve with him. After he passed away, my family stumbled upon a commencement address he gave to the North Carolina State University School of Design. The commencement speech began with a quote from noted psychologist and behavioral scientist Abraham Maslow. We fear our highest possibilities. We are generally afraid to become that which we can glimpse in our most perfect moments under conditions of great courage. We enjoy and even thrill to the godlike possibilities we see in ourselves in such peak moments, and yet we simultaneously shiver with weakness, awe, and fear before these very same possibilities. Obviously, the most beautiful fate, the most wonderful good fortune that can happen to any human being is to be paid for doing what they absolutely love doing. This quote was inspired during one of Maslow's classes. In the class, students appeared blank-faced and inattentive, which prompted Maslow to ask the question, how many of you want to become psychologists? A few of the students raised their hands to this question. Then Maslow asked, how many of you want to become great psychologists? Nobody in the class raised their hand. Maslow responded with, if you don't want to be great at what you do, why even bother doing it? Who do you think will be the great leaders 30 years from now, if not you here in this room? The question of, if not you, then who, really stuck with me. Why do we do things if we don't want to be great at them? Is that really ever the case, or do we just tell ourselves that we don't want to become great out of fear that we might fall short? Why do we hold ourselves back with this doubt?